Hey, um, seems like Sonic Omens released to critical acclaim with Sonic fans. Well, maybe not so much since there are a few videos out there criticizing the many aspects of this fan game. For those not in the know, Sonic Omens is a new version of the game previously known as Sonic 2020, developed by Ouroboros Studios. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to play Sonic 2020, so it's a relief that I can finally try out the levels that I missed out on last year. Is this a fan game that aims to raise the bar in quality for fan content? Or is this just another mediocre game that only looks good? The title of the video should be a dead giveaway, but give me a moment to get a few things out in the open before you start typing, okay? In fact, we can start with a quick rundown of this game, and we can start with some positives. So this runs off of the Infinity engine, which has slowly become one of my least favorite engines for fan games. It's not at any fault of the engine, for the most part. It's just the implementation in lackluster fan games and levels. Fortunately, it manages to take advantage of it for the first 3 levels. I mean, if I ever needed to show levels that are designed with an engine in mind, these are it. Wellspring, Chao Paradise, and Area 99. I would also give credit to Waterfall Chase and White Jungle, but I wouldn't consider them standout examples. These are just okay examples. But that's older content. That's stuff from the Sonic 2020 demo. We can get into that later. For this new version of the game, the first 3 levels are an absolute joy to play through. While they do have their flaws, the potential of these ruining the player experience is minuscule, which is why I continue to see them as great examples of how to make a level for this engine. They allow you to go fast, but they give you an opportunity to explore around. You won't get some kind of open-ended level, but you can discover faster routes or find the red rings or whatever is out there. It's great. Including a laser grapple hook to swing around is a great inclusion to Sonic's abilities as well. To keep the ongoing positive discussion, this game looks gorgeous. You won't really get that impression with this video, which is something I'll get into later. Which is why I recommend watching videos from other creators such as Blue Vivacity and Sonic Central to get an idea of how great it looks. So that way it doesn't seem like I'm trying to hype up a game that looks pretty bad. The soundtrack is another highlight of this fan game, though I feel like that's expected. Fan games tend to have outstanding soundtracks. But I never really thought calming level music would be something that could work well with Sonic. Wellspring managed to exceed my expectations. Hell, even include the music for Area 99 and GON Arsenal. It's pretty good stuff. Now that we got all of that out of the way, we need to talk about my issues with this game. First off, we're going to start with the Egg Dragoon fight, which might be a little too difficult for a first-time player. The real issue is how fast it lunges. If you've never seen this fight, there's a chance you'll take damage, or there's an even greater chance that you'll actually lose a life. It just creates an unnecessary spike in difficulty. But after a while, you do learn to use the boost when necessary, so you can get past it. It's just very shocking to see a difficult boss this early. From there, we're at Tails' 2 tornado levels, and these are terrible. Navigation is incredibly awkward, so getting around obstacles or avoiding enemy attacks become more frustrating. This is made worse by the fact that you don't really have a good way to see how close you are to hitting something. Now, this could be a result of lowering the quality of the graphics for the sake of getting this game to run at a playable frame rate. Then again, it could be the same issue for everyone. On top of that, the larger badniks have the potential of destroying the tornado within seconds since the laser stays locked on to the player. To add more to it, near the end of the first level, the wind kicks in from who really knows, and you'll have to wrestle with that and try to make it through the holes with opening and closing doors. This will lead to a lot of frustration, and this is actually what got me to originally stop playing this demo. But for the sake of the video, I had to keep playing. Afterwards is this very forgettable second level that leads to this joke of a boss fight. Just use the sidestep buttons to dash left or right to avoid it. It will never touch you. Which begs the question of why this fight is designed the way that it is. From there, we get to the content of Sonic 2020. We have officially finished all of the new content in this game. Aside from White Jungle and Waterfall Chase, the rest of the game is not good. The 2 aforementioned levels are fine, though White Jungle is a bit too dark, and Waterfall Chase's final section could use some kind of warning about taking damage because it leads to an instant death. The remaining levels suck. Tree Palace has got to be one of the worst concepts for a level that I have ever seen. First off, you better pay attention to the cutscene that plays before you're given control, or else you won't know that you need to hit 2 buttons that are underwater. Funny thing about being underwater, you won't really hear the drowning music until your oxygen meter runs out, and the time between the meter running out and you drowning is very short. I believe that might also be from the Infinity engine. This level carries a very steep penalty for falling off. If you're not up high enough to turn the ground into a kill plane, you'd have to find a way to go all the way back up. Don't worry, the developers have your back on that. They included an instant kill feature that could really use a better name. Though it does beg the question, if there needs to be a feature like this, wouldn't that indicate that there's a problem with the design of the level itself? And finally, we can get to Shadow the Hedgehog. He's not great either. He has 4 Chaos abilities that you can switch between, and they vary in their usefulness. The Chaos Dash could be extremely useful. You can aim it in one direction and dash there. I could see some speedrun potential with this, if the levels were any good. There's way too much platforming and sitting around and waiting compared to the beginning of the game or even the first and last Sonic levels of Episode 3. I get that Shadow has a double jump, but it would be nice to see some segments where he can use his speed as well. You don't get these a lot. It does occur more in the first level than the second level. And the Chaos Spear would be decent if the homing attack wasn't automatically better, since the characters can make large jumps with ease thanks to the engine. Earlier I said you can aim with the Chaos Dash, and you can also aim with the Chaos Spear. But the aiming for these abilities wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have to stand in place. It just kills the pacing of the level when accurate shots are required. When I first played the game, I legitimately did not know how to aim until after 2 full playthroughs. Thank goodness, the game goes out of its way to let you know that you can refer to the controls, but the controls can be a little buggy as well. Let's say you don't like the controls of the Infinity Engine. Sounds fair? You can go into the options and change them to the Unleashed controls. But when you do aim your Chaos ability, you'll be stuck aiming with the left stick instead of something that makes more sense. The right analog stick would work well because it controls the camera, the thing you need to point at an enemy to use the homing attack. The problem is this: let's say you did try it out, and you want to return to the defaults. You can do it, however, the control options are a little buggy, and you will lose the ability to aim your Chaos abilities. After the 2 Shadow levels, you have a boss fight, and quite frankly, it just takes way too long. There's 2 segments. The homing attack can be abused like crazy, and even then, the homing attack doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's just a waste of time. And to finish up on these 2 levels, while the first one might not be great, the second one is abominable. If you told me this was from a completely different game, I would actually believe you. I would not believe that this is a Sonic level, and the only indication that this could be a Sonic fan level is from the rail grinding or the light dash. This level sucks. To get back to the issue of the glitches that I was dealing with in this game, it just brings up one thing that I can't get over. The abundance of technical issues with this fan game that has been praised like it's the magical new greatest game they've been dreaming of. Yes, it is a demo, but how many games have had different technical issues that aren't consistent with every player? I've heard from 2 people where the game wouldn't properly work for them. One of them, it wouldn't launch. The other one, it did launch, but they couldn't access anything on the menu. So they have an 8GB waste of space. And these are people with much better PC hardware than what I'm working with. My friend Twip was not even able to do the wall run section at the end of Tree Palace, and that part is required to get to the end.
You can't see them because everything's at the lowest quality, but there are rings on the wall and you can see a tiny little spring. This is meant to make you run on the wall. Look what happens to me. Every time. It flings me off every single time, and the level is unbeatable because of it. I have to go on there to beat the level. Look what happens. No, but it just does not work.
He had to figure out how to skip that section, which shouldn't be required to finish the level.
I say that's stupid. Oh my god, that's it, that's the end of the level. I did it. I did it. Oh my god. And now we have to do it again because I want to do it as part of the fucking stuff. Wow.
Another person I spoke to wasn't able to elevate the platforms in Multijungle when he activated the switch. The level soft-locked on him. To throw myself into the mix, there were times where my second jump activated instead of my first one in Shadow levels. Guess what that led to? Deaths. On top of the whole thing, the game's optimization is piss poor. Now, I might not have the greatest computer in the world, in fact, these are my specs. But why make a game that is so demanding even with really low quality settings? My guess is that it's from poor optimization of the game, and there might even be other issues that I've never seen or heard of. I mean, where did the Patreon money go? Oh, yeah, that's right. In the past, up-to-date builds were available behind a Patreon paywall, so you had to be in one of the 3 tiers to get access to it. In fact, there are assets that date all the way back to March that are on the same page behind that same paywall. Now, the last time I checked, Ouroboros Studios doesn't own any part of the Sonic franchise, and it's this reason that I can confidently say that this game is absolute garbage. Did I have fun with some parts in this game? Absolutely. But the fact that this Patreon exists is a big red flag to the community. They even thank the patrons in the credits of the game. I want to show you a video that talks about the potential consequences of fan game developers starting to monetize their own fan projects when they don't own the intellectual property. It'll be in the description, and it'll be in the top right-hand card. This is a scumbag move, and there are people acting like it's no big deal, but if SEGA was to start striking down fan projects, it's definitely going to be a big deal. Things like Sage and Sonic hacking contests could be a thing of the past. I don't want that, and I'm damn sure that the fans of these games don't want that either. So, that'll do it for today. I know I could touch on the voice acting as well, but that eventually became the least of my concerns over time. I will say that the actor voicing Sonic does a fine job, but with all due respect, the rest of the characters could use retakes. Dr. Eggman needs to be more natural and have a less rushed delivery. And I hate to say this, but I really don't think Shadow's voice actor is the right choice for that role. I can play a clip, so here you go.
Didn't have enough time. Where's the objective's location?
Again, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I just wanted to get that out there, since this is a critique on the game. So if you want to try this game out, don't bother. In fact, here's my recommendation. Go find a promising fan game and spread the word on that one. I'd rather shed light on a fan game that isn't behind some kind of scummy practice. And I think that'll just about do it. If you liked the video, you know what to do. If not, feel free to like and share the video around. Subscribe if you're new, and if you want to see more content not like this, I guarantee more positive videos are posted here. And then if you want notifications, you can click the bell icon to get that. I want to give a shout out to the members of Knux Club Plus, the channel members who are these awesome people whose names are on screen right now. They are supporting the videos in a bigger way, and if you want to find out how to do so as well and get your name in the credits, which now that I think about it is really sounding familiar, but this is video we're talking about. Click the join button below this video. Thank you very much for your extra support. It is greatly appreciated. You are all awesome, and I thank you very much. If you want updates on content that I'm working on or just to see what I'm up to, I have my social media pages linked below. Feel free to check them out. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. This game sucks.